There's no better feeling in the world than embarking on a road trip. Stuffing your suitcases into your car, seeing your city disappear behind you as you hit the interstate, counting down the minutes and the seconds until your destination, until your stomach starts to grumble, and you realize that your only two options for eating lunch are waiting an hour until the next McDonald's or eating that soggy tuna salad sandwich your mom packed for you this morning. But there is a better way, and this better way can not only improve your vacation, but your life as a whole. Today, I'm going to teach you how to pick the best spot to eat on your road trip. First, we're going to determine the best city to make your stop based on the timing. Then, we're going to determine the best restaurant to stop at based on uniqueness and affordability. And finally, we're going to learn how doing this can not only impact your vacation, but you as a person for the rest of your life. Choosing a city is very important because it involves the timing, and timing is crucial for your meal stop. If you wait too long to let your fellow road trip passengers eat, they're going to get hangry, and that's just going to ruin your whole vibe. This is why it's important to use an online maps tool such as Google Maps to determine where you're going to stop. Simply open your Maps tool and enter your starting location and your final destination. For example purposes, I will be using a fictional road trip from my home in Council Bluffs to Austin, Texas. Once you do this, a picture of your overall route path should appear. You can then use this to determine what city you'll stop in based on your personal timing preferences. For example, I like to get started early, so I would be leaving my house at around 5 a.m., and I like to eat lunch at around noon. So I would want to look for somewhere that is about 7 hours into my trip. You can do this too based on your timing preferences, and once you decide how many hours you want to wait until you stop, simply zoom into your route and find a city that is approximately that amount of time away from your starting point. When I did this, I ended up in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and I determined that that would be the best stop for my road trip. Keep in mind when you're doing this that although you don't necessarily have to plan where you're going to stop before you go on your road trip. However, it's a good idea to know where you're going to stop at least an hour in advance so that your driver can make any changes to their route if necessary. Picking the correct city can be a breeze if you just use Google Maps and use a bit of your timing skills. Once you've picked the location your stop will take place, now's the fun part, choosing where you're actually going to eat. Google Maps makes it very easy to see all the restaurants in an area simply by typing into the search bar, restaurants in, insert city name here. However, at first when you do this, it will show a lot of more high price, upscale restaurants that will take a long time to eat at. And you want to avoid these because not only will they take longer and therefore take more time away from your road trip, but also if you're spending a fortune already on gas, lodging, and other vacation expenses, there's no reason you need to do the same for your meal stops when there are plenty of affordable restaurants that will give you just as good of an experience. This is why you should go to your price drop-down menu and select restaurants that only have $1, maybe $2 signs. The dollar signs indicate how expensive the restaurant is. Once you've done this, it will show a lot of affordable restaurants in the area. Now you can choose a location that is truly unique to your vacation by asking yourself a couple questions. What is a type of food that's unique to this area that I'm stopping in? Are there any local ethnic enclaves or points of interest that you could visit while eating? What's something that you can eat on this road trip that you've never eaten before? You're on a vacation. Under no circumstances should you eat somewhere that you can eat at in your hometown. Try to have a new experience by doing a little bit of thinking and research into the location that you're traveling to. When I did this, I found out that Oklahoma City is known for its burgers that have onions on them. I found out that Nick's Grill, one of my affordable search options, is a restaurant in Oklahoma City that's famous for its burgers. And when I looked at the reviews, a lot of them mentioned the burgers that have onions on them. This is how I determined that Nick's Grill is the perfect road trip meal stop for me. And you can pick the perfect road trip meal stop road trip meal spot for you too by considering the affordability and the uniqueness of the restaurant. Now that you know how to pick the best place to stop, you might be wondering, why is this so important? Why can't you just eat the soggy tuna salad sandwich? Well, besides the obvious, you might not know that doing this is going to impact you as an individual for the rest of your life. According to Washington State University, those who travel often are 7% happier than those who don't. This is because traveling can give you a whole load of new experiences of relaxation, excitement, and good memories that will last a lifetime. If you put just a little bit of effort into extending those experiences to something even as simple as your road trip meal stop, you're going to increase these benefits and make yourself a happier person. Also, stopping somewhere unexpected can give you a new outlook on life and make you a more well-rounded individual. For example, no offense, but I literally never wanted to go to Oklahoma City in my life until I considered stopping here on my road trip. I have to admit, I hold some stereotypes and biases against Oklahoma. However, I believe that if I were to actually go to Nick's Grill, get out of the car, and just experience Oklahoma City for myself and enjoy the sights, sounds, and especially tastes, then I would have a whole new appreciation for Oklahoma City and learn something about it that makes me a more well-rounded individual.
Please hold in your classroom. Hold in your classroom.
This is why when you get the opportunity to go on a road trip, you should take any opportunity you get to make it meaningful, even when you're just stopping for a meal. As we close here today, you now know how to pick the perfect spot to eat on your road trip based on the timing of the location, the affordability and uniqueness of the restaurant itself, and you also know that doing this is going to impact you as an individual for the rest of your life. Now that you all know the right way to do it, I suggest that you all try to hit the road and then chow down. Thank you.